20. Most elite special forces. When states act in the shadows. Every government has a list of problems it cannot solve in public. For those problems, it builds units that officially don't exist. Small, precisely selected, brutally trained, deployed when open force is politically too expensive, and inaction is strategically fatal. 20 units, different countries, one function: act without being seen. 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, USA. Founded 1977. Selection rate under 2%. Delta was founded in 1977, outside classical command structures. In April 1980, Operation Eagle Claw confirmed why it was needed. 8 U.S. soldiers died in the Iranian desert when a helicopter collided with a transport aircraft. Technological superiority without specialized integration had proven worthless. In Iraq and Afghanistan, Delta was the operational backbone of the hunt for high-value targets. In 2006, a Delta-led operation resulted in the killing of Abu Musab az-Zarqawi. Losses are not officially named. Estimates suggest several dozen killed since 2001. Special Air Service, United Kingdom. Founded 1941. Selection: Brecon Beacon's endurance test. The SAS is the origin of modern special forces. Founded in 1941 in North Africa, the idea: small, mobile units achieve strategic impact where armies fail. The Brecon Beacon's selection filters not strength, but mental clarity under exhaustion. May 5, 1980. The Iranian embassy siege ended in 17 minutes. 5 terrorists dead, all hostages rescued, broadcast live on television. It defined anti-terrorism tactics worldwide. The SAS didn't just win that day. It set the standard every other unit has measured itself against since. SAS losses in Northern Ireland, Iraq, and Afghanistan remain secret. Its greatest success is not one operation, but the standard by which all others must measure themselves. Naval Special Warfare Development Group, USA. Founded 1980, also known as SEAL Team 6. DevGru, better known as SEAL Team 6, was founded in 1980, also as a consequence of Eagle Claw. The mission? Maritime infiltration, nighttime capture, minimal political signature. Selection never ends. Every operator remains replaceable. May 2, 2011. 23 SEALs flew 150 miles from Afghanistan into Pakistan. 40 minutes later, Osama bin Laden was dead. No American fell. 1 helicopter was lost. The operation was perfect, and it was dangerous. Internal investigations later warned of discipline failures and ethical erosion. DevGru embodies operational excellence and the cost of believing in your own mythology. Spetsnaz, GRU, Russia. Founded 1950. Selection rate 3 to 5%. Spetsnaz was designed for total war against the West. Built for sabotage, infiltration, and targeted killing behind enemy lines. Effective in Afghanistan, but casualty-heavy. In Chechnya, brutality was systematically employed. Since 2022, drones and open sources in the Ukraine war have destroyed the myth of invisibility. Spetsnaz remains dangerous, but disenchanted. Sayeret Matkal, Israel. Founded 1957. It was founded not for power projection, but for existential security. The unit combines strategic reconnaissance with direct action. Selection and training are extremely demanding, also intellectually. July 4th, 1976. Israeli forces flew over 2,500 miles to Entebbe, Uganda. In 90 minutes, 103 hostages freed, all 7 hijackers killed. 1 officer fell, Yonatan Netanyahu, older brother of the future prime minister. Entebbe became the global textbook for hostage rescue, not because it was clean, but because it was possible when nothing else was.
GIGN, France. Founded, 1974. Selection rate, under 5%. December 1994. Air France Flight 8969. 173 hostages, 4 terrorists who planned to crash the aircraft into the Eiffel Tower. GIGN stormed the plane in Marseille. All 4 terrorists killed. All hostages survived. No operator fell. The unit's philosophy: patience beats speed. FSB Alpha Group, Russia. Founded 1974. Selection rate under 1%. For 30 years, considered among the world's most professional counterterrorism units. Then came Beslan. September 2004. Over 1,100 people seized in a school in North Ossetia, more than half of them children. 3 days later, 334 dead, including 186 children. The use of thermobaric weapons, the collapse of negotiations, the chaotic assault, internationally condemned. Russia declared it without alternative. Sayeret 13, Israel. Founded 1949. Sayeret 13 has existed since 1949 and is Israel's maritime elite. Sabotage, coastal attacks, and covert landings shape training, which is extremely casualty-heavy. In the 2006 Lebanon War, the unit suffered noticeable losses. Sayeret 13 remains highly professional, but vulnerable, a rare insight into the limits of even elite forces. 75th Ranger Regiment, USA. Founded 1984, reconstituted. They are visible, fast, and uncompromising. Selection rate is about 10% and an extremely high operational tempo. Mogadishu, 1993. Tactical objective achieved, but 18 U.S. soldiers dead, 2 Black Hawks down, American bodies dragged through the streets. The U.S. withdrew from Somalia within months. Rangers are the first strike, not the solution. Kommando Spezialkräfte, KSK, Germany. Founded 1996. Selection rate around 5%. The KSK operates in the tension between military necessity and political control. Selection around 5% and very long training. Professionally effective in Afghanistan and the Balkans, reputationally damaged when investigations uncovered far-right networks within the unit and missing weapons. The KSK raises a question no open society has fully resolved. How do you build an elite that operates in the shadows while remaining accountable to the light? GSG-9, Germany. Founded 1972. Created after the Munich massacre in 1972 as a consequence of state failure. 11 Israeli athletes dead, a country without the capability to respond. 5 years later, Mogadishu. 86 hostages, 4 hijackers, 1 aircraft. GSG-9 ended it without losing a single operator. A standard without myth, built on absolute seriousness. 1st Regiment of Parachutists of Infantry of Marine, France. Founded 1960. France's permanent presence in Africa since 1960. Mali, Niger, the Sahel. Asymmetric combat at relentless tempo
with limited political outcome. Militarily efficient, strategically often neutralized. The first RPIMA shows that tactical success doesn't force peace. Special Boat Service, SBS, United Kingdom. Founded 1940. Smaller and more discreet than the SAS. Maritime infiltration, covert captures, no publicity. A British officer summed up the doctrine: if people are talking about us, we've failed. The SBS has no famous operations, not because it lacks them, but because success means you never heard of them. FSB Vimpel, Russia. Founded 1981. Built for Cold War nuclear sabotage. Engineers, physicists, linguists over infantry. Never officially deployed, the unit survived the collapse of the Soviet Union and was reactivated under Putin. Vimpel's greatest effect to this day lies in its mere existence. Deterrence through possibility.
Joint Task Force 2, JTF-2, Canada. Founded 1993. One of the world's smallest elite units, and one of its most quietly effective. Since 1993, it has operated almost exclusively in close cooperation with U.S. Special Forces. In Afghanistan, JTF-2 operated as an advance force with exceptionally low losses. No myths, no scandals, no publicity. Efficiency without ego, and precisely therefore highly valued. Grom, Poland. Founded 1990. Grom was founded in 1990 as Poland redefined its military identity. Western-oriented, NATO-compatible, highly selective. The unit proved itself early in Iraq, including direct actions and hostage rescues. Grom stands for the successful transition from post-Soviet structure to modern Western Special Forces doctrine, an upstart without myth, but with documented successes. Marine Raiders, MARSOC, USA. Founded 2006. The Marine Raiders, officially part of US SOCOM since 2006, fight less with opponents than with perception. Operationally solid, well-trained, deployed in Africa and the Middle East, they remain in the shadow of Delta Force and DevGru. MARSOC doesn't suffer from lack of performance, but from competition within its own system. Their history shows that elite doesn't arise from capability alone, but also through political prioritization. Special Air Service Regiment, SASR, Australia. Founded 1957. The SASR operates in spaces where logistics reaches its limits. Desert, jungle, long-term deployment. Long considered the most autonomous and effective special forces in the Afghanistan coalition. Then the Brereton Report documented credible evidence of 39 unlawful killings of Afghan civilians and prisoners over a decade. Not isolated incidents, a pattern. A culture of impunity that grew behind the operational freedom the unit had been granted. Para-SF, India. Founded 1966. Para-SF is internationally little deployed. While other elite units react to exceptional states, Para-SF lives in permanent operation. Kashmir, high mountains, border conflicts with Pakistan, operations without clear fronts, without pauses. Selection is brutal, training uncompromising. Altitude adaptation, jungle combat, urban operations. Para-SF operates where political solutions have failed for decades. Internationally underestimated, highly regarded in their own country, Para-SF embodies a form of elite that doesn't arise from glory, but from permanent necessity. VDV Spetsnaz,
Russia. Founded 1930s. For decades, the symbol of Russian military superiority. Elite paratroopers with an unshakable myth. February 24, 2022. The airborne assault on Hostomel Airport near Kyiv was designed to seize the airfield in hours and place Russian forces at the gates of the capital. Ukrainian forces were waiting. The airfield changed hands. The losses were severe. What was meant to be a 2-day operation became a war that, 4 years later, has not ended. Hostomel didn't only mark a military defeat, it marked the end of a narrative that courage and reputation could substitute for planning, technology, and honest intelligence. The VDV still fights, but in the 21st century, mystique alone is not enough.